Hi Harry, I was wondering why if we drop a pencil, it falls to the ground?
It's because the gravity isn't it. That's a silly question. Everybody knows, right?
Harry, are you there? I'll join you guys if my parents are at home. They will be arriving soon.
Come on, Chris. We're having a great time now. We're at Juara Beach.
Hi Google, what should I do if I were the board officers of WHO?
Be realistic. You're a schoolboy and never be the person you dream of.
Harry, why I'm so stupid like this? If I joined the LOSNITO learning video competition, I would have had a chance to win.
Don't worry, brother. I'm a Flash superhero. I'll bring you back to the time.
Hello everyone, welcome to English online class. I'm Okta and I've got a grammar lesson for you today, and I'm very excited to be sharing it with you. We're gonna be talking about a conditional sentence in English and some of outcomes of our English online class today. Firstly, we're gonna look at the basic structure of conditional sentences and the meaning of all conditional sentences in English. Second, all explanation will be followed by understandable and contextual examples. And then, practicing your English with repeat after me session will help you practice your English immediately after you know it. And the third, by knowing the structure of conditional sentence in English, it's going to be easier for you to be more confident about the way you express your thoughts and ideas. When you read, when you listen when somebody talks, and especially when you speak and write, these conditional sentences will be an excellent introduction. And the fourth, a simple exercise given to you to each section will help you with a better understanding of conditional sentence in English. We use conditional sentences to explain what actually happened, things that are always true. We use conditional sentence to explain what could happen. We'll see a possible or likely outcome in the future. We use conditional sentence to explain what we wish would happen. Here, we imagine a different outcomes for our present situation. And the last, we use conditional sentence to explain what might have happened. Here, we are thinking a different outcomes that actually couldn't be changed since it talks something in the past. Yes, now there are 4 types of conditional sentences in English. We might say that they're pretty much similar, but actually they're not the same. Let's take a look at these sentences. Now, we're going to talk about what do they have in common. Firstly, they all use 2 clauses. Second, they all are separated by comma. If you put if in the middle of the sentence and then comma isn't needed anymore. And the third, they all use if conjunction. And the fourth, all the sentences describe a condition which must be fulfilled. And then we know the result is going to happen. So that is why it is called a conditional sentence. A condition is something that we have to do or something that needs to be exist in order for something else to happen. If I have a lot of money, I can buy everything. There's a really important relationship between these two things. I have much money, I can buy everything. One thing really relies on the other thing. I cannot buy everything unless I have much money. I cannot buy everything without much money. It is clear, isn't it? Next, I'd like to talk about the difference. Just check out the verbs. This is where the main difference between the conditional sentences are. It's all in the verb. You can see it, right? And the meaning is different too. We can use each type of sentence in a different situation. Are you ready to continue? Now, let's get started with the zero conditional. Now, let's talk about zero conditional. As I explained to you in my previous introduction, that zero conditional is something that are always true. Or we say that what actually happened, actual things. Alright? We use zero conditional to talk about a factual or real information. Based on this description and the meaning, we say that zero conditional can be used to talk about first, general truth. We talk about something believed by many people, and this is very factual, very objective. And the second is zero conditional is used to talk about habits. To get more understanding about zero conditional, let's check out first this video.
Hi Harry, I was wondering why if we drop a pencil, it falls to the ground? It's because the gravity isn't it? That's a silly question. Everybody knows, right?
Okay, let's study these following examples. The pencil falls to the ground if you drop it. Alright? So it is very clear, based on the scientific research, every time you drop an object and then it falls to the ground. Okay? And let's take a look at the second example. If you do a good deed, you get a lot out of it. This is something true, that as humans, we are very social people. We complete each other. So once we do good things, and then we will find very rewarding. Alright? And then let's take a look at the third example. The day is boiling in Indonesia
if the dry season comes. This is talking about geographical. This is talking about climate, geographical area, and the relations between the seasons. We know that dry season is like a summer, especially in tropical country like Indonesia. When dry season comes, yes, we can see how hot the day is going to be. Now let's do the repeat after me session. So you will listen and try to repeat after me. The pencil falls to the ground if you drop it. Your turn. Second, if you do a good deed, you get a lot out of it. And the third, the day is boiling in Indonesia if the dry season comes. Thank you very much. Now, let's move to the example of talking about habits. Let's take a look at this. Alright? Okay, so here, all the examples talking about habits. When I have a free time, I usually play the guitar. This is your habits, and this is true. You always do this. If I draw a timeline, this is present, this is past, and this is future. So we talk habits, and then we talk things that you started doing in the past until the present time, and then continue into the future. So every day, every time you got a leisure time, and then you play the guitar. Alright, I think this is very clear. And the second example, if the weekend comes, I always do jogging. So to maintain your body health, when you come to the weekend session, and then your habit is to go outside of your house, and then you do jogging for 5 kilometers or even 10 kilometers as a good runner. Okay, and then next, if my brother doesn't work, we always ride on bicycle. My dear students, believe it or not, actually all these 6 examples having a value inside. I mean, a value given by our school and foundation. So when you know the example, if you drop the pencil, it falls to the ground, and this is about the factual, this is about the scientific truth that always true. Okay, so in our value we know kebenaran. And then next, the example talking about if you do a good deed and then you get a lot out of it. In here, I'm trying to say that you as a student, as a human, as the children of God, you have to do a kindness action. So let's study this following formula from all 6 examples you have learned. We finally turn them into this following formula. I might say that a zero conditional can be used this following rule. Okay, so you start with if plus present. This is present tense, comma, plus present tense. Okay, or if you want to put if in the middle of the sentence, and then you can create a sentence start with the present. If plus present. Look at here. You will be likely confused or sometimes stressed out talking or listening about present time. What kind of thing is that? Okay, here I'll try to make it more simple by giving you another alternative or a way to make it understandable and easy to remember. So another formula, so you will be easy to remember, is just remember the verb. As you see in my introduction, what makes all conditional sentences very different are the verbs themselves. Okay, so the zero conditional, if we only talk about the verbs, we can say like this. So if plus verb 1, comma, verb 1. Just remember verb 1 belongs to zero conditional. Or if you want to put if in the middle, like you say verb 1 if plus verb 1. Okay? So how important to know the verbs in English. Dear students, after you know all the examples and the rule of zero conditional, now let's practice these following exercises. What I'm gonna do here is I'll give you 2 exercises. The first is to complete the sentences with the most correct verb. Just look at the verb in the brackets and you try to find the most correct verbs with the zero conditional rule. And the second is I'll give you a situation, and based on the situation you have to be able to create a sentence. Alright? So now you need to pause your video and I'll give you 30 seconds of completing this exercise. Have a nice try. The second type of conditional is what we call the first conditional. To know more about this, let's check out this video.
Harry, are you there? I'll join you guys if my parents are at home. They will be arriving soon. Come on, Grace. We're having a great time now. We're at Juara Beach.
Alright, now how we divide what is actually the first conditional. Alright, so when we use the first conditional, we're trying to describe the real possibility. Once again, the real possibility. Okay, so when we talk about a real possibility, we going to talk about what could happen. Here we also talk about we'll see a possible or likely outcome in the future. Now let's analyze the given example. In the given example, Matthew calls his friend and telling him that he'll join them at the beach if his parents are at home. And when we use this first conditional type, here is the analyze or the level of possibility that something will occur. So in that example, we see that Matthew wants to join his friends at the beach. And the second is he must wait his parents before going there. So when his parents probably is not there soon, and then Matthew likely not going to the beach, probably not going there. But what we'll see here is that the level of the possibility is quite high. Why? Because behind this sentence, Matthew knows that his parents call him that they will be arriving soon, so he knows pretty much that he can join them because his parents call him, they'll be arriving soon. So the conclusion is that Matthew has a quite high possibility to go to the beach because his parents will be getting home soon. Okay, from this definition and 3 analyses of the one example, we have now several functions of first conditional in English. It is used to express our thought and ideas. The first function is prediction. We can talk about prediction. Second, we can talk about plans in the future. And third, if you have promised to your friends, parents, alright, you can use a first conditional. And then if you want to give an over, you can use a first conditional, talk about overs. And if you want to suggest someone so they can change in their life, you just give them suggestion. And the last is if you want to tell something that they have to stop to do something, so you just give them warnings. Okay, this is the function of the first conditional sentence. Well, now we come to repeat after me session. Try to listen and repeat after me. I see if you go to the bed very late, you'll get up late and miss the bus to school. Your turn. The second, if you spend more time on playing games, you'll be failed on the coming exam. You practice now. Third, if I finish my study in Lokon High School, I'll enter one of the top 5 public universities in Indonesia. You practice now. Good job. Thank you very much. So now everyone, what are some values of our school and foundation which we can find from these examples? When talking about a warning, we think positively that someone can change in their life because we warn them not to do something. Alright? Right now, finally, how could we create a sentence of conditional sentence? So now we're going to look at the structure, we're going to look at the verb, which are very important elements in conditional sentence. Alright, we see in the first sentence, in dependent clause, if clause, we have the verb go, so this is verb 1, so this is a present simple. Alright, and then to the main clause, this is actually will, and now it begins to be different with a zero conditional because now we use future tense. Okay, and also the same thing, the second example, alright, the verb, and the third example also the same. Okay, so now what is actually the formula that we can have as the rule of forming first conditional sentence. So here is the formula. So first conditional is something like if plus present, comma, future. Okay, very simple. Well, everyone, to show how well you understand the first conditional in English, so now what I'm gonna do is I'll provide you two exercises. The first one is about you're trying to arrange the following sentences into good order and guess what function it has. And the secondly is create a sentence from this following situation. I will give you 30 seconds to complete these exercises.
Excellent! Yes, you've completed type 0 and type 1 of conditional sentence in English. I do apologize. Due to the limitation of the time, I can continue explaining type 2 and type 3 of conditional sentence in English. But don't worry, I'll do it on the next video. Now, let's jump into the conclusion.
Firstly, when we are talking about zero conditional, we're talking about something is a fact. There's no doubt at all that it will happen. Let's take a look at this example. When the winter comes, the day becomes frozen. It is very clear, right? We cannot argue that the day doesn't become frozen because of the winter. Because every time winter comes and we can feel the day turns to be very, very cold. So from this example, we finally know how to form zero conditional. So zero conditional is consisting of, first, you start with the if conjunction plus present tense, comma, present tense. And if you want to put if in the middle of the sentence, you can start your sentence with the present tense and then follow by if conjunction plus present tense. My dear students, we can use zero conditional to talk about something. First, we can use to talk about general truth, like this example. If you go to the peak of Mount Everest, the oxygen is very thin. And then second, we can talk about habits. In this new normal era, I wear face mask, keep physical distancing, and clean my hands regularly if I go out of my home. Second, when we're talking about first conditional, we're talking about something happens if the condition is met. The possibility of the condition being met together in this type is quite high, so we know that something will likely to happen in the future. So, to get a more understanding about this first conditional type, let's study this following situation before you know and understand the example. So the situation is like this. Harry has a plane going on vacation in Burano, Italy. He will go the day after tomorrow, but he cannot go there unless his sister gives him some money so he can pay the travel agent. After some time, he knows that his sister is ready to transfer the money the day before his departure. And at the present time, right now, Harry is talking to his classmate in an enthusiastic way. He says like this: "Hi brother, if my sister transferred the money I borrow for my vacation, I will go to Burano, Italy. I like going there because of the architecture and the colorful painted house. That's very fun, and it is a very famous place in Italy. You see the example here? Okay, it is very clear that Harry has a quite high possibility going to Burano, Italy, because finally his sister is ready to transfer the money. Next, here's the formula of the first conditional sentence in English. The first conditional sentence is consisting of, first you start with the conjunction if, followed by present simple, comma, and then you close with future simple. If you want to put if at the center of the sentence, you just begin your sentence with future simple, followed by if conjunction, and then you close with present simple. We use the type of the first conditional in English to express predictions, plans, promises, offers, suggestions, and warnings. Okay, my dear students, I think this is the end of my lesson. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope you can learn something from this lesson and apply in your everyday life experience. Hope to see you again on the next video. Bye-bye.